Okay, this is TruCatch live trap. This is the size that's commonly used for a lot of species, including raccoons, cats, fox. We're going to be setting for a raccoon here, and we found a trail that they're using to go through the fence line. So a good place to trap is always just off the fence line. So I'm just going to show you a few techniques on how to effectively set the trap. We want to lift the rings, and there's the bar behind that connects to the treadle, and normally you can set this trap as heavy or as light as you want. Heavy meaning when the lever's up quite high, it takes more pressure for it to trip. I like to set it so that it's just heavy enough that if an animal went on top, it doesn't do that. So it doesn't false trip. The trap has a couple of other features. The release door is also a good place to place your bait, which always should be at the back of the pan or treadle. That's the device that makes the door go down. At the very back. Here we're going to use sardines because it's a good bait for raccoons. Raccoons, you can almost use anything. There's a list of different baits on our website for different animals. Now, one good thing about you're on the trail is set the trap so just off the trail. And here I'm going to use the existing vegetation to aid in camouflaging the trap. Now what I'd like to do is not have anything in the way of the door to impede it closing. I want it fairly level. This isn't bad. It's nice for the animal to be able to see through. So certain animals, like a raccoon, it's better if they can see through as opposed to having something behind that. So if there is a rock or a lot of excessive brush, I might clean that away. Once I get this set, though, then I'll come back, kind of push the grass and vegetation back around. So trying to make it look as natural as possible so there's a greater chance of trap acceptance. This is a really good spot because it's just off the trail, and I've got all this natural vegetation to help make it more camouflaged, if you will. So again, I said sardines we're going to use. It's a great bait. What I like to do is just open it a little bit. I'm going to make a bait trail. So I know the animals like to come through here. And when you're making a bait trail, whether it's corn or bread or anything, apples, just a little bit. So just a drop every couple feet. The idea is for them to go into the trap for the bait, not eat outside. So the sardine oil obviously isn't much to eat outside, but if you're using bread or apples or corn, you don't want big piles of it. So again, I'm not sure what direction he'll be coming from, so I'll go under this fence line. Whoop. And if I was baiting for raccoons and I thought it was a family group, very often I put my main bait pile or can at the back, but I might put a little bit of bait on either side at the front. So the female comes in, the mother, she'll start eating the bait. The kits will push her because they want in to have something to eat. And so she'll go to the back where the main bait pile is. Ideally, the other two run in behind her. If you get a family group, that's fantastic. Now again with raccoons, specific to raccoons, they're real clever and very agile and dexterous. I like to set it up against something like we're going to do here, not only for the camo, because if you were to get just the young, you don't want the female coming, rolling the trap. And if the door opens, which it's supposed to, she could release them. You'll notice that on these traps, the way the rings work, there's a little indentation, which helps. It takes a little bit more effort to get the rings to fall down. One just went, the other one, it's not going yet. Eventually it will. And if you wanted to release something, that's fine, but we don't want the animal releasing another animal. Typically, though, you release just with the guillotine door at the back. Okay, so we're going to put the bait at the back. Again, it's got plenty of smell. You don't have to open that can any more than it is already. You'll notice, too, at the back of the trap, the mesh at the front is 1 inch by 1 inch. It goes half by 1. And that's to keep, again, raccoons are clever. They may try to reach in and grab the bait. So that's the purpose of the smaller mesh. So we'll take it and, again, get it on a nice level spot. Before I open the door, I'm going to just move some of this vegetation around. Keep the front nice and clean. And set it like so. And that's pretty much it.